What's the coolest story from the bubble, Brad? What's something that happened that you'll kind of, maybe not even on the court, maybe something off the court, in the hotel, or like you said, walking around the track and, talking to Spo for a while, whatever it was.
Well, I think there are some. So I had good friends with Angela Duckworth, who wrote the book Grit, and she's a professor at Penn. And I talked to her right before we were going to the bubble and said, what do you think this will be like, and how do we kind of maintain our edge as we're going through this? And she said, I think it'll be really hard at the start. And she said, I think there'll be ups and downs along the way, but more ups. Like, you just have moments where it's going to be tough, especially when you're practicing and not playing games. She said, but when it's over, it's going to be what you tell your grandkids about. And regardless of result, I'd say that's probably going to be the case, because it really was a incredibly unique experience. I'd say the two things, I'll give you one on the court and one off of it. So I'd say off of it was the whole week when Jacob Blake was shot in Kenosha and the Bucks decided not to play, and then everybody followed suit. All of the discussions, all of the raw emotion, that whole week was like really memorable and really impactful. And I think that the players and coaches and everybody else that went down there with the idea that it was really important to not only play well and find joy in the game you love, but also to use this platform to inspire and inspire. I think obviously voting became a huge push in the league, and from that moment, even more of one. And that week was really impactful. On the court, I would say that our first game we played in the exhibition games, we got drubbed by Oklahoma City.
That's right. And
there were no fans. And I knew we were going to get drubbed immediately because Chris Paul was by far the loudest person in the gym. And, I think I was getting back into, coaching again. And I think our players were getting back into playing, and we were all just kind of waiting for the game to come to us. And this guy's just like directing the whole place. I mean, and it's the only voice you could hear. Usually you can hear guys, but you can't, they don't impact you, or they don't have that presence that impacts both teams. Chris had that presence that day, and that was a great lesson for us. It was a great lesson for our players that they have to be the louder team in this environment because there's nobody else here. And it was a great lesson for our staff that all of us had to be a little bit louder to add not only to what we were all trying to accomplish, but to the energy of the building. The buildings, you saw that the way it was presented on TV was really cool, right? It looked like a stage. You had all the people around, you had the music in the background, but it wasn't very loud. Really? And so I think that talking was important.